We are NXT. With NXT TakeOver Chicago now in the NXT history books, we are now back right home in Full Sail. And of course, exclusively to PWFEmpire.com, I'm DJ Cass, and I am back here to give you my NXT recap. With tonight's episode from Full Sail, which pretty much was the beginning for the build towards NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. So let's go ahead and get into this recap. Of course, we kicked off NXT tonight with the return of an injured Tommaso Ciampa. Now, to give you a bit of a recap on this, apparently Tommaso Ciampa had suffered an injury at NXT TakeOver Chicago when he had fallen off the ladder. And it even wasn't the injury that he suffered Thursday night prior to TakeOver Chicago heading into that show. It's a torn ACL, so what sucks about this so much is that Tommaso Ciampa is going to be out for a while, and I'll get into more when I talk about this, but I actually very thoroughly enjoyed the opening segment of NXT tonight with Tommaso Ciampa basically explaining, because I really like the way that he opened up, like no entrance music, none of that, like he's on his crutches, which we all know that he really is hurt, but the fact that they didn't give him any kind of entrance theme and they just gave him that ominous walk to the ring slowly and the audience just really giving it to him, I think it really drives home the point of like just how great of a story that the DIY tag team really brought to Full Sail and NXT in general, because this is a story that goes all the way back to the Cruiserweight Classic. But as far as this promo for Ciampa itself, I loved the explanation. I absolutely loved it because I was so scared that it was going to be the typical, well, here's the thing, it was because of Johnny Gargano that he cost us the match because he wasn't fighting enough. But Tommaso Ciampa literally said that he went on to fight on with Johnny Gargano because he did it for himself, he did it for his partner, his brother, and he did it for the people. He wanted to win. And apparently, when Tommaso Ciampa got hurt, he said it didn't take long for the people to be like, is Johnny Gargano going to find another partner? Is he going to be able to, like, be in the match? Will there even be a tag team title match? And when Tommaso Ciampa, and I love this so much, he was like, when I knew I was going to get replaced so quick, that was when I'm like, I may be hurt, but when I come back, I'm going to make sure that I'm the person that they're talking about, not Johnny Gargano. Again, I love the opening segment overall. It really sucks the fact that Tommaso Ciampa has a torn ACL and he's not going to even be around to help build this story. Like, this literally could have taken NXT far beyond TakeOver Brooklyn, I think, but I'm looking too far ahead. But this is a story that they could go along with for a long time. Like, honestly, man, I might get heat for this, but I think Gargano and Ciampa are probably going to trump Zayn and Owens from their NXT feud. I truly do think it's going to get to that point. But yeah, as far as like this opening segment, people go check it out. It was just amazing. Again, love the explanation. Oh, and real quick on another note before I move on to the next I love the fact that Johnny Gargano is still not speaking. Like, I really want them to draw this out just as much as they can. Great stuff. Of course, the next thing that we had on NXT tonight, apparently, because last week they had advertised on NXT, was the return of the glorious champion, NXT champion Bobby Roode. But unfortunately, Bobby Roode said, I have some business I need to attend with the very most importance with the actual people that matter. So, but he said not to worry because he will be back in Full Sail next week. It's interesting that they advertised this, but yet there was no kind of celebration that went down. So I can't really tell what this might be, but I will be interested to see what happens with Bobby Roode next week. And of course, people, we had our first match of the night. We kicked off with Danny Burch versus the new UK champion in Pete Dunne, making his return to Full Sail. This match was fucking great. I'm just going to go ahead and play it bluntly. If you like physical and technical style type of a match, and you really don't need to be like a good like 20 to 30 minute classic, this match is for you, because this match definitely was very good. I honestly really did not expect it much because I don't really know much about Danny Burch. All I know is he, from the commentary, said that he's a very physical competitor. But honestly, after TakeOver Chicago, I knew who Pete Dunne was before, but I damn sure know who he is now. But yes, this was just fucking great. And here's the thing, it only lasts like a good like 8 to 10 minutes at best, so it just proves that NXT can still have good matches like this on a weekly basis, because there was, I think, at one point where Danny Burch went for like a reversal, but then Pete Dunne was able to reverse it into like a reverse lifting superplex, and there were a lot of physical forearms and headbutts, and I will say that. But yeah, very good match. Pete Dunne got the victory. I'm glad they didn't have him lose because while I would like to see them do something with Danny Burch. UK Championship needs to be more featured, and with Pete Dunne being the champion, he needed to win. So yeah, very good match to kick off the show. Of course, we come back from NXT after the match, and we have an interview with the new Velveteen Dreamer, who of course made his debut last week on NXT from Chicago. And I will say this though, I won't say he's growing on me, but I will say his flamboyant, the way he does about his character really is kind of like funny. He was like, let's do something about that, something about this, and then the maybe. I wanted to take it. He got screen time for his character, so it was good stuff. Of course, next match of the night that we had was Cesar Bononi versus the returning Andrade Almas, who was in action tonight. It seems as if they're trying to tell a story with Andrade Almas, the fact that he's probably partying too much, he's not focusing enough being and winning inside the ring. I'll say this, at least it's something for Andrade Almas to do because they need to do something with him, because I honestly don't know why he is not the fourth or third most important person in NXT right now, because they've always had him lose. But yeah, honestly, for the most part, this match was pretty much a squash. But what was shocking was that Cesar actually got a roll-up victory. I haven't seen anything like this since Oni Lorcan defeated Ty Dillinger on an NXT episode last year, and that was shocking in itself. So nothing really much to talk about here. I just hope that Andrade Almas, with the story that they're trying to tell him, the fact that he's not focused himself, gives him enough development in his character. But yeah, good victory for Cesar Bononi, because that's a guy that you can tell is like a performance center enhancement guy. He's a guy that we probably won't see on NXT for a while. Like, they're just trying to test the waters with him. But yeah, can't wait to see him in a year. We'll have to see what he does with this after this. And this is also what was worthy to know on NXT. Apparently, Ember Moon has been officially cleared by doctors to make her in-ring return next week. So that's definitely good, because there were other rumors circling around that Ember Moon could possibly be out longer than they had probably thought with the 5 weeks. But yeah, can't wait to see Ember Moon back so we can finally get her build to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. And also what I found very interesting is that we had a bit of breaking news, something that I did not expect tonight on NXT. So apparently from the office of William Regal, in a matter of 2 weeks, it will be the NXT Women's Champion, Asuka, defending her championship against Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross in another triple threat match. Instead, this time, it will be elimination style. I'm very happy the way NXT does their championship matches, because the thing about it is, it's like, I'm glad that they're giving it like a good 2 weeks. It's not gonna be like, okay, fine, they're feuding, and it's like they're gonna put them on TV and you're gonna have a match next week. Like, they're at least giving it time to like really build. I will say this though, this is very random, because I think the reason why they're doing this is because they really want to get like Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross like out of that championship picture, and maybe this is the way to ride them off. But hey, it's an NXT Women's Championship match, and it gives people a reason to tune in. So hey, can't wait to see it. Of course, we then see a bit of a fallout video from Hideo Itami after his loss to NXT champion Bobby Roode from NXT TakeOver Chicago. I like this because how often do we see a WWE superstar or an NXT superstar in general that will not show any kind of like emotion or frustration after losing a championship match? Because this could have been something more for his family. This could have really gotten him an opportunity to really show and actually live up to his name when they brought him into NXT. And him losing, in his mind, is what he should not have lost, and he should have won. But what was interesting about this is we got a lot of censored from Itami in this when Cassius Ohno was trying to calm him down. If this leads to Cassius Ohno versus a heel Hideo Itami when we get to Brooklyn, shit, sign me up. I think that's good. But yeah, very interesting to see if this is going to be a feud. But I would like to see Hideo Itami turn heel, because it definitely would be a real refresh for him moving forward. So I can't wait to see it. With Hideo Itami, we found out tonight, next week we'll take on Oni Lorcan. I actually cannot wait for that match, because that's going to be stiff and physical as all get out, so that'll be fun to watch. All right, it is main event time here on NXT with a tag team match that featured Sanity's leader Eric Young and his fellow Conrad Alexander Wolf with Killian Dane at ringside taking on the team of Roderick Strong and Cassius. Oh no, oh no. I'm sorry, people. I love that song of his, and I can't get it out of my head. But yeah, this was a pretty solid tag team main event. Like, it was kind of the standard, like, we need to get heat on the babyface so that way once he gets the hot tag, the other babyface can like come in and just wreck shit. But yeah, Roderick Strong, I will say this, those vignettes that they featured him, this is Roddy for NXT the last couple weeks leading into Chicago really did him a lot of good, because now I'm starting to hear more of a good reaction for Roderick Strong. Like, you knew he was good, but he definitely needed something to like really for the audience to like get into him. And we got a bit of a surprise at the end with a returning "No way, Jose, no way, Jose." It was actually a pretty good surprise, because I honestly did not expect or hear about anything of "No way, Jose" actually returning tonight. Because remember, he was originally supposed to be part of that 8-person tag team match at NXT TakeOver Orlando, but then they took him out at, ironically, the live event that I attended to at Access, where he was taken out of action. So it was good to see "No way, Jose" back in a nice, good little surprise. So I love continuity when they do stuff like this, and they did remind us that he was part of the whole Sanity feud with Ty Dillinger. So yeah, good stuff overall. NXT overall tonight, guys. I'd say watch this episode, because I actually thought this was a really, really solid episode of NXT. I mean, we had the tag team main event, which was very good. Pete Dunne and Danny Burch had a nice little physical match that was very, very good. It surpassed my expectations. And definitely check out Tommaso Ciampa's explanation when he opened up the show, because I thought it was very, very good. Got a little bit of development with the Velveteen Dream with Patrick Clark, so be on the lookout for that. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do with Andrade Almas and this whole losing streak. So I thought there was a lot of things that were accomplished on NXT. All right, guys, it's time for me to get on out of here. I'm DJ Kaz. I'll be right back here next week on PWFEmpire.com to give you another recap of NXT. Later days.